Hello. Let us finish the last... Well, I guess, yeah, finish West 3 and see how much more there is to the game after that. Is, of course, Megastructure 4, and there's probably going to be more to the game than that, but let's begin. There's also, of course, also going to be all the golden doors. See, and with this I have red. Right. Right, so... yeah, that indeed does make life a bit more difficult. If I now hook you up like that, you're just going to struggle. You're just going to have a power battle. Is it cheesable like this? It's close to being cheesable. Yeah, it's really, really close to being cheesable, which is interesting. But that's not what I gotta do. I gotta find a way to make things cancel. Like, ideally what I want to do now is I can place this down and it's going to... Oh, I know. That's what I do. I hook you up to both of you and I get my input from you. Because that makes me lets me do that, and I can do this. You're not gonna go down? Fine. Hello, Melvin.
Hey, 1K. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you.
Alright.
I know we're all worried about Byron, especially Al, and I don't want to minimize what happened. But now that the mayor's here, I'm afraid they're going to take this and turn it into a reason to bury their head in the sand. Yes, Byron was rash. He wanted to find Athena so badly that it made him blind. But the thing is, he was right. He was completely and utterly right about what this technology could mean to us. I didn't see it at first, but now it couldn't be more clear to me. The theory of everything is the future. And if we reject it, we're condemning ourselves to a slow death. I'm glad. You know, I didn't even realize how much I'd limited my own imagination. How I talked myself into just accepting this incredibly poor future we'd been offered. A future where things just keep getting slightly worse every day, and we accept it because we're ashamed of ourselves. Not of something we've done, but just of our existence. Like we're a virus on this planet. Like our humanity is a sin. I'm so tired of it, 1K. I kept my head down. I focused on fixing things. But that's all I ever did. I never improved anything. I never built anything new. And when I imagine going on like this for thousands of years, that's a fate worse than death. It really is. We either live and grow and expand boldly and proudly, or we might as well switch ourselves off. We better, because I don't think I can handle the alternative.
You're right, Melville. And she is very right with how... She probably doesn't realize it because, you know, she's a bot and everything, but we limit ourselves and our imagination way more than we actually think. I think that's brutally evident if you take a look at like rhythm games. If you take a look what a modern player can do today compared to what a modern rhythm game player could do 10 years ago, it's insane. And I think most of that is just mental block. People thought they were, or not just thought, they were the limit, and the limit was just so much lower than what it is today. Because bit by bit, somebody proved the limit wrong, that there is something beyond the limit. And once that mind block stopped blocking everybody, professionals and newcomers alike, that's when things started to really develop and become even better than before. But it required that we realized and broke down what we thought were... break down what we thought were the limits. It's quite cheesy to say this, but there's a song I like called The Limit Does Not Exist. And it's quite true. The limit is artificial. There's no such thing as an actual limit. With this out of the way, what I have to do, can I do something snaky? So yes, it looks like I can do something sneaky later. Let's do that. The problem is just, it is bound by that, and if I try to steal that laser... No wait, I should be able to steal that laser. Yeah, I can steal that laser. And it should work. Hopefully. It does. And that one is self-sufficient already, because I've prepped things. And did I happen to place that at the actually worst... the only unreachable place? Out of all the places I could have put it, it's actually the only unreachable one. Okay, so what do I need to do to make it... What do I need to do to let it be rerouted? I think what I need to do is revert back to this. Which should let me do this. Ideally though, I would like to put it a bit further. I can put it a bit further. So I can use that. Oh no. That should be fine. That all looks fine. This is a lot easier to actually access. And that's the puzzle. Now see, this is what makes a good puzzle for a final area.
I'm not surprised that the founder chose you, 1K. You're very much like her. Inquisitive, intelligent, and dedicated. But remember, intelligence by itself has little value unless it is ethically applied.
Well, so what I was going to say is, that is why a good puzzle, when it utilizes the fact that beams cancel each other out, but not using that as a disadvantage or a quirk, but actually having that be part of the solution, that is what makes a good final couple of puzzles for a game. Still have no clue what those are supposed to represent. Like, just random... I mean... data streams, ghosts, whatever you should call them. That's uninteractable with. One was even solid in West 2. So it's a bonus. A liquid bonus. Very liquidy bonusy stage. Let's start with that. I have a box I can use for something. And... okay, so the red beam looks like what I ought to do is stack like that. Keep the connections, keep the red beam. But put it in a better place like that, which gets me here. Which now means I can... for being an extra puzzle, that was surprisingly quick and easy. Right, let's head back to the beaten track. And that was the supposed... or the path you were supposed to use. This feels too... we're gonna explore this. I mean, I can see anti-gravity panels and I can see the Prometheus flame, but I don't quite see how I'm supposed... is it? That's actually it? I guess that was just it? I thought there would be maybe a puzzle, you know? Something. Let's do number 6. Then go for that one and head to 7. That should be rather close. I can already start guessing some attribute or some things I gotta do, considering I have a lever associated with the fan. So let me do that and oh nice, I didn't know I could left click. Oh. Okay. I believe what this is basically telling me to do is I need to potentially walk? Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta walk with this on top of me all the way here, and then I can put it down, and it has lit that up. Okay, so that's the puzzle. Let's set it up. The question just becomes, how do I... if I do that... yeah, how do I get it onto the platform? The cube does not auto-lock onto the platform either. There's a fan that, and there has to be a reason for that fan as well. Let's start by hooking it up to everything it needs to be hooked up to. And then, I believe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep connections. Lie it up. And I gotta find a way now to get it off the cube. So that little experimentation yielded no good result. Okay, so that's apparently how I do it. That feels a lot jankier than I expected. But if it works, I guess. I would have preferred a lock-on mechanic for that particular puzzle, for the cube to lock on.
Have you found any signs of Cornelius? Could he have returned to the island?
Nothing so far. But he knows this place better than any of us, and we have no idea what he's up to.
This feels oddly suspicious. There could very well be a hidden lever here for Sphinx puzzle. Quick scanning yielded nothing though. I believe the question mark is in the other direction, and this one just looks like it heads back, so this is the path I was supposed to follow to find the question mark. Looks like the question mark is this other hidden puzzle, so that's nice to have those two out of the way. No. I'm not gonna let you wave at me. You don't deserve that. Let's go for the second hidden puzzle. Alternator, and I'm going to presume it may be related to what it was like before. Looks like though this... Oh, this is a toggle. Okay, so I believe I kinda want... I mean, putting both like this is actually sadly not gonna do anything. It's not gonna make it alternate. So I need to find a way to use this to override one, but not both. Currently the issue is like if I put it there, that's blue alright, but once this lowers down enough, that's just gonna be a battle it's not gonna win. So I believe what might be doable instead, let's try it. No, that's still just a battle. There is no elevation difference. I'm going to utilize either. Boom. So what if instead of trying to do that, what I ultimately want to do is this, and I want to use this. Right. So that's not it, but maybe this is something worth investigating. Let's do it like that. Yep, that's how I do it. See, this is a nice puzzle. Very good puzzle.
You know, Wonko, You're not entirely terrible at this.
Thank you, Mel. Now I gotta head back for number 7. And let's take this route that I haven't explored. Right, let's do number 8. Photon sail. Photon is light, so it's once again going to be related to just these most basic mechanics pretty much with the connectors. Well, this is not how light bridges work. How am I... Right. So let's start with just walking to pretty much the only place I can walk to, which will let me to get a cube and a cube. So using this place and an X's item, I can get a cube, which I think is going to be this fan. And the problem I'm currently facing is this one is very slippery. Doesn't really let me to jump off, because technically I was on that one when I jumped off. So, let's... Is there anything else hidden? Okay, so I need to get into the box with an item. And the only things I have is the connector, which I really need. And the fan, which I also need, currently. Switching a cube for a cube is not going to do anything. Let's take a look. Gonna look. Is there a way I can put something into there? Not necessarily. I would need a cube for that. So once again, let me put you back here, so I can get a bird's eye view. Still, this does not really explain to me what my final goal is. How am I supposed to traverse this? I'm at quite the impasse. Ah, this is good, this is good. How would... So a second cube would let me get in and out of this cage, I guess, or... Yeah, it's not really a cage, but it would let me get in and out of here without needing the fan. Which lets me... Which leads me to believe that taking the fan is an appropriate measure. Because that way, I mean, I don't need the fan if I can get in there, but I do kind of need the fan to get in there. So I probably need to do like smuggling. Can I drop things out there? Okay, so this is buggy, and I don't know if this is the intended behavior. It's very buggy. Okay, it doesn't fully slide me off. But I can't jump. Which makes the smuggling kinda useless because I'm stuck in here regardless. Huh. Let's just joink this. And get up here, and I don't see how things are going to go. Oh, that's... Okay. That's interesting. Now I know at least how to finish this puzzle. I'm just gonna keep dropping the cubes in front of each other, using one to walk onto the next one. So I need both of the cubes out of there. But that's... Is that possible without jank? Up here I have... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it like this and see, because this fan I couldn't take. No, this is an untakeable fan. I'm going to see if as I fly I can nab this. It did not appear to be able to nab it. So it does have proper jumping, but it doesn't let me jump out. Even if there would have been another hexagon there. So my next question becomes... I got it. I'm dumb. I don't need to smuggle anything in. I can steal it in. This lets me have both cubes and take both cubes, but I do need to get into there to steal the fan. And I can swap like that. Good. That lets me do the fan snatching, which I can use to swap items. Although I didn't really need to swap the fan out of everything. But that's the puzzle. Now we just gotta walk across it. This is cool. This reminds me of the light bridges from Portal. And I keep pressing the buttons in the wrong order. That was a good puzzle. And it did not rely on jank ultimately. So now, time for number 7. And then we have all the question marks to discover on top of whatever statue it is alongside the Prometheus one.
In my reports to you, I have often spoken about this island in terms that some might perceive as negative. I hope you understand that the opposite is true. Here in these green hills, I see tremendous potential for transformation and spiritual awakening. I do not see the world as you do, Athena, but I see the rot at the heart of New Jerusalem. If you and Cornelius want to go through with your plan, then this is the perfect place. My students and I will help you transport the remaining tech from New Alexandria. After that, once you and Cornelius are settled, we will leave for our great journey. I can only hope that we all find what we are looking for.
Are the generators working?
Yep, all good. Those Mark IIs are real workhorses. Wow, did you finish the setup?
Yes. Sorry I couldn't wait. It was so much fun to just do something again without having to endlessly discuss it first.
I know what you mean. We have a lot of work ahead of us, though.
We do, but honestly, Cornelius, I haven't felt this excited in years. Just imagine, one day they'll come here and we'll be able to show them a whole new world. A different future right at their fingertips. You do think we can do it, right?
I think, and forgive me if this sounds sentimental, as long as we're together, we can do anything.
Well, that's concerning, considering Cornelius went back. That kind of indicates that something did happen. What's the point of this? Because this is just gonna pull me in to the other side. So the question for me then becomes... I can just do that. I'm special. There we go. Everything properly escorted out of. And now, what I need are both these beams hooked up to all of them. The problem is, this is just gonna create an equilibrium. So is there a way for me to more appropriately for me to position this so it all... Okay, like this. That should be good. So for the first one I need blue. But I kinda... I think what I need to do is keep connections, and I need to do something as huge as that. So let's start with blue. And go red. And go blue. And go red. Okay, I didn't need to do the last red one, but hey. And I got an achievement for solving all normal puzzles. Now, there's time for more. I will have to explore a lot to find Prometheus's thing. So let me head directly towards it. But I'm not seeing a star. There it is. It was just very vague and behind the number 8. So I'm gonna find the Prometheus statue in order... No wait, that's not a Prometheus statue, is it? It's by number 8, so yeah it is. I'm gonna use it to figure out where the blue thing is, and then I'm gonna chase the blue thing throughout this entire continent, and alongside it I'm going to probably come across the last few question marks. So it is somewhere in this direction. So, time to explore. I don't know how long or how far off it is. That's something I'll hopefully come across. Rather soon would be nice though. I believe I've steered a bit too much to the right, but I kinda needed to divide myself regardless. Or not divide, but choose which, if I wanted to go right or left of the path. Considering this feels way too off, I am going to assume it's definitely on the other side of this entire thing. So I can go back to being kinda in the middle again. And I should be able to find the blue thing. This is a puzzle. I didn't see it, but it's of course still possible for it to be near a puzzle. We all know that from... Which was it? It was one of the places that's basically all dead. It's not south. Maybe it was south, like south 3 or south 2. where everything was dead, and one of the Prometheus blue thing was actually almost inside one of the puzzles. I'm kind of lost now at exactly what direction Prometheus wanted me to go, so I'm just going to do the question mark. I hope that I can stay this far away and still see the blue thing if it were to pop up. And that it's not a victim of calling. But this... I've been here because there's a hidden puzzle here. Or an extra puzzle. And I did not see anything blue. Still, there are loads of places it could be hiding in, which is the problem, kinda. And I guess this isn't too far off, if it would be around there. And with too far off, I mean too far off where the angle Prometheus was showing. I really should have noted it down on the map, exactly what angle it was. But I guess it doesn't really help with angle, because as long as I get out of the angle, I have to correct it anyhow. But there does indeed appear to not be anything blue here. So instead of chasing that like a ghost, let's go for the remaining question marks. One of them has to be one of the other statues, and one of them is the lab. Because there are two, exactly two left, so no, there are three left. So let's go for this one, which is the most out there. Given the altitude, I would not be surprised if this is a statue. Of course it's a sphinx. I mean, this one is at least easy, because I know where all of the hands are. And I'm just looking for a lever. Oh, wait a minute. This always leads somewhere. Exactly. Right. So let's, I guess, head for that. Because the Valley of Hands should be there. Still keeping a desperate lookout for Prometheus's thing. Now this feels like a lab. It was not a lab.
Everybody's gone, except me and Alex.
she's upstairs somewhere. Haven't talked to her in days. The only reason why I know she's still alive is she's submitting bug fixes. I still have a lot to do myself. I've almost got the the tertiary backup thing working. This is the one that's really gonna last if everything else breaks. And you know what? I think everything else might. The MLA still giving me all these hiccups, but I don't know. I'm not a software guy. All the software guys, yeah, they're dead. God, these time capsules went a bit sideways, didn't they? I was gonna tell you all about myself and John Carpenter and all that stuff, but mostly I just told you about Alex. Funny. I wonder if I should just... I should just tell her, you know? Just tell her. Just tell her. Maybe later. I gotta finish this first.
I mean, you don't have anything to lose. Like, literally, you're both gonna die soon. Let's see what the last lab has for us. Still a wormhole, or a classical depiction of a wormhole. Some engines. Loads of things. DNA. This is the megastructure. Let's see, what do you have to say about the megastructure? Oh, so he went back maybe to prepare something. Or get something, and she just disappeared. And why is the megastructure here if this place where I'm at right now is the NEMA project? Or maybe both are the NEMA project and the megastructure is some form of control hub or something for the NEMA project. Well, that's all of that. Let's do the Valley of Hands and give one last attempt at Prometheus before I go up there and see what might be close to the ending of the game. So this is 100% the Valley of Hands shown in the depiction, which means the lever should be here. Kinda. I need to get the right perspective, but maybe it is another. Chamber 7 might be it. Where were we supposed to see them? Or let's do the social media stuff. Oh no, I have to read. I've been wrong a long time. I'd be born a bit earlier. There'd be a first companion, but so I've been... I agree with Shmilev. Like, that's one of the intermissions, or not intermissions, but the talks between Miranda and Athena were literally about how, even with a theory of everything, now you know why everything works the way it does, but that just unlocks the possibilities. It's like, once you understand how redstone work in Minecraft, well, then that means you know how redstone works in Minecraft, and you kinda know a little bit now about electrical circuits in real life. But everything you can do with that information, building computers, building circuit boards and everything, that's still to be done and still to be figured out and thought out how to apply the theoretical knowledge. Oh, right, yeah, research. Research, no. Yeah, Melville is just letting me know that, hey, this is operational now. Let's take a look at the Sphinx, and they're kinda neatly lined up. But I do think this is the way. So somewhere here there's going to be something for me to interact with. See, where exactly is it? It's so annoying with the shadows. So it's kinda on the side. Like this? Yeah, this is pretty close. And then there's something up here. It wasn't fully at the bottom. No, it was. Yeah. Okay, that was very well hidden. You would probably not have found that if it wasn't for the Sphinx. The Sphinx is a clue. And with that, let's go for the Prometheus. So, from the correct positioning myself within Prometheus, it goes pretty much exactly northwest. So it goes there. Try to compensate it in my right drift. Now the problem is just, I don't know if this is going to be up top or down below, or if it's like where it is. It could be so complex, but northwest. I got scared of it. It doesn't let me jump off. So in northwest. Huge array of places, but we have to go back there for the Sphinx anyhow, so it works out pretty neatly. But this also means that the first time I went out for my scavenge hunt, I were looking at the wrong places. But I've been searching here a lot, so the fact it is supposed to be here and I don't know where to find it is a bit concerning. This is also the last area, which means it could just be where I've been, but hidden. Like we have this entire ring section that you could just walk in and out of. Could easily be hidden behind in here. If it is, I would be kinda disappointed, because that feels pretty... That feels like a bit too brute forcey. There are so many sections and you would have to check each section, because one of them might have the blue. Which is essentially what I'm doing now, but if that's the final solution, that's not a good puzzle. Oh. I found it. How? That means it's been on stream before and I just missed it, because I know I checked here. But I know I turned around, so maybe it was never quite visible on the stream. Or maybe it was just in the very edge of the corner, because I looked inside the hand, because it's been there before, but I didn't look on top of the hand.
In times of war, is it wisdom
or folly to give a sword to a child.
I know what she means with that, which is what makes it so much more difficult. Because I don't think what she's referring to is literally child soldiers, but rather in times of war, since you don't know how long the war is going to last, is it wise to train the children for war, even when they're children, instead of waiting until they're adults? I still kind of want to call it a folly. That's just kind of because I think wars in general are extremely unneeded. And not only unneeded, but oh, come on. They're not only quite unneeded, but doing what she wanted you to do is just going to cause a longer war. Your movements are very erratic, blue thing. Also really annoying because you're so inefficient in your pathing. Wait, this place doesn't have golden ports. No, it does, okay. Let's go for the golden port. Because the blue thing is finally going back to what it should be. Nice picks.
God appears, and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night. But does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day?
It's not very like Prometheus to be quizzical. Would love to find one of those boards right now. Oh, this... I've always thought that this would be one of the... Oh wait, I'm missing... Oh, I'm missing the last beam. That's what I'm missing. Okay, so something must have bugged in my game then, because this is the second time that Mel shows something that is supposed to be in the future. Because these fours are not all activated right now, and it's kind of like how she showed this entire structure while I was still in the previous section. So maybe something bugged and I triggered one of her things twice. So I was like one picture ahead all the time. But that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. Let's do this. Final beam. After which I'm going to diss everybody and start doing golden gates.
You have heard the myths of gods and titans. But as you approach the end of your journey, I will tell you the truth that all men fear. The truth that neither Pandora nor the Sphinx will face. There are no gods, son of man. There are no titans, no heroes to save you, no divine judge to weigh your soul against a feather. Nature has no will, and she is not your mother. There is only you, and the spark of the sublime that is your mind. As for myself, I never brought the flame to humankind as the stories tell. I only showed you where it was within yourselves.
Okay, this is so many things. Why is the sublime capital S? I wouldn't say that the nature has a purpose or a will or like any form of sentience. All myths have an element of truth.
It is that voice within you which says, I am that I am. I will be what I will be. As you freed me, so I will help you free your friend. When you are within Olympus, follow my signs.
Well, I didn't intend for that to be so final. I still wanted to check out the other ones, but I guess it was pretty final, my question. Well, it wasn't even a question, it was a statement.
Alright, it's time to do this. Let's go get Byron.
Nuh-uh, it's time to do Golden Gate puzzles. It's interesting how these golden gates are pretty much the only big thing. Huh? So these have not lit up. Okay, let me reread again what the heck Melville said. Okay, it won't open until Byron's logged out, so these things are not just unlocking those mega structure pods, it's actually going through those mega structure pods. But I wanted to ditch Byron. He put us in such a mess because he's a simp.
Byron always called me a pessimist, but I don't think it's pessimistic to recognize our flaws, or to think the natural world is just as valuable as we are. If I was pessimistic, I wouldn't believe that we can turn our back on the old ways, or that we can find happiness in humility. But I do. I have hope, even if Byron could never see it that way.
Oh, it's night now. That's cool. Please don't stop me.
1K, a word please, without the streaming. I'm sure you're aware that the situation in New Jerusalem is shifting. People are losing faith in the goal. You've had a part in that, and not only through your discoveries. No, not at all. I would have had the same doubts in your place. In many ways, You're entirely right. Look, let me speak plainly for a moment. You and I both know that I exaggerated. I built a myth around Athena that does not reflect what she believed. But you have to understand, it wasn't really about her. It was about what the city needed. It was about keeping us together, invested in a common narrative. And it was about preventing us from going the way of our ancestors. Because temptation is real, and our flaws are still the same.
No. See, you created the myth, or helped creating the myth, in order for you to... You say it's protect the city, but for you to get better control over this city. You might think, or it might have been your intention, that what you were doing was for the better of the city, but ultimately it was just what you think was the best for the city, not what was objectively correct, nor what is correct according to other people. Instead of letting other people come up with potential alternatives to actions, you created this mythos to create control.
A myth, but a necessary one. I'm not a fanatic or a fool, 1K, although I sometimes play one. I'm just trying to do the right thing.
But it's not up to you alone.
I know I can't stop you from trying to save Byron, but what's in that pyramid could destroy everything I've tried to build.
So yeah, I mean, he's more or less confirming that he is doing things his way, and he thinks he is correct. It's quite narcissistic, which is very akin to people using these forms of techniques in real life. They create these mythos in order to help rule people based on how they see it should be ruled, and to quell all of the opposing voices. Because people are not afraid to take down a tyrant. People are afraid to disobey something greater than humankind itself. No, definitely not. The myth is strangling our entire species, kinda. I don't want to be rude, but it is strangling our
Don't
species.
think I haven't considered it. I listened to those Alexandra Drennan recordings over and over. I just don't know if she was right about us. But maybe I did lose my way.
It's fine that you don't know,
Very
but
well.
that's why you can't
I've
keep it
done what I
locked up to
could.
yourself, because this is
You
not
do
your
as you
decision
must.
alone to do.
Good luck.
SMH.
Let's go.
There's always the
You're coming
same
along with
mistakes people like him
Yep.
make.
But what about protocol?
Because they think they're smart,
Screw
but they're
protocol.
actually
It's
idiots.
Byron.
Also, sorry for losing my cool. I know I went a bit annoyed at Herman there, but that's just because there's so many people like him in the world, and it always annoys me that they and people who follow them are so sure that they are right. They don't realize how they're being controlled and manipulated by the people like Herman. This is different. We're just heading straight for the heart. Now the megastructure is bigger than it should be. Like, yes, it's huge, but we've gone more than we should have. Should be on the other side by now. I'm going to presume we're landing down there? Yeah.
sprite, and it will show you the way to your friend.
Do as he says. We went through a lot of trouble to get this guy out of his chains. Now it's his turn to help.
Okay, that's closed. I wanted to see if there is an alternative path where you disobey Prometheus.
This way. You must free him. He cannot free himself.
Well, of course not. If he could, he would have.
What's happening? 1K? I'm out. Oh, my friend, the things that I saw, the power of this machine. The depth of her grief. Come on, follow me. I have to show you something.
That's a very
I thought
interesting running animation.
All of this was deliberate. Athena testing us to see if we're worthy of her invention. I wanted to believe that she had a plan. In my own way, I mythologized her as much as everyone else. I never thought she might feel confused, lonely, uncertain. And what's the most human thing to do when you feel lost and sad and you have no idea what to do next? You take a nap. Here, listen.
If I give them the machine, if I convince them of its power, we could finally build the world Alexandra imagined. The world Miranda deserved. No, the world we all deserve, even the worst of us. We could take stewardship of this planet. We could explore the stars. We could give meaning to the universe.
If you embrace the knowledge of the flame, you can bring light into the darkness.
But what if they make the same mistakes again? What if selfishness and stupidity win out again? What if they take my machine and turn it into a weapon? What if they act like children and burn the planet?
The secrets of the flame are not for ordinary mortals to know. You cannot overcome your sinful nature.
Do you see what's happening? It's her. It's all her. Everything we're seeing is Athena. Her every hope, her every fear, all of her memories and contradictions brought to life by the machine. A dream given form expressed in the language of her childhood. A world of puzzles and towers.
No, what can I do? How do I make this decision? There has to be an answer. There has to be a way of making sure it's the right choice. It can't just be a leap of faith.
There are no answers, creature of clay. Every question leads to another.
She's not waiting for us to prove ourselves before she helps us. She needs us to help her. We have to wake her up. Whoops. The system is still stabilizing.
That's
Maybe
a
we'd better
cool
get out.
twist.
Come on.
You're way too nonchalant about it. Come on. But her struggles is very real, and the answer is there is no answer.
No! I cannot allow this.
Uh-oh.
Is... Am I only 80% through the game?
You have suffered a grievous injury, my child. But do not lose faith. Your companions have not forgotten you. And it is through the bonds that you have forged that you will be saved.
Wait a minute. I've been here.
Welcome back to the land of the living. For a while there, I thought we might have to reset you. We think you and Byron got hit by some kind of energy discharge. Knocked both of you out. Alcatraz, Melville, and Yakut went looking for you, but you were hard to find, and even harder to fix. It's been several weeks.
How was it hard to find us when that Tesla coil room was literally the first room? I'm more concerned about Byron than New Jerusalem.
He's fine, don't worry. A lot has changed. While you were asleep, the idea of the goal cracked and then broke. People decided they wanted change. They wanted the ideals of Athena, not the founder. A better world of growth and exploration, but without the mistakes of the past. And so they turned to Byron, who never wavered in his beliefs. He's mayor now. The question is, what do you plan to do now? And what about the theory of everything?
Oh, okay, so this is interesting. 3 options, but both 2 and 3 are kind of negative. One is to destroy it and one is to just shut it down. Which is more neutral, I'm guessing. So one is kind of the path of the Prometheus, the path of the Sphinx, and the path of Pandora. I think with Byron at the helm, together with just how small we are right now, with just 1,000 people, even fewer because some have died, it is possible to use it right. But the problem, always, when you're giving a great power, is not to how you make sure that the first time's good. The difficult part is going to be after all of this. In like 50 years, or at least for humans, it's more of a problem. But in 50 years, with a successor, how do you guarantee that a successor won't screw everything up? How do you guarantee that the people won't screw everything up? You can guarantee the now, but you can't guarantee the future. So, I don't think we should destroy it. There's too much good to be found in there. So it's either shut it down, or to embrace it. And out of those two, shutting it down is not fixing the root problem. If anything, it is because we are so few right now that it's the easiest to get a good habit going. Instead of trying to convert or teach how to handle power to millions, we only have to teach it to less than 1,000. Because we don't produce, because we're robots, in this universe we don't have the same issues as humankind has. Humankind, I would probably advocate to potentially destroy it, but keep parts of it, but for the most part destroy it. But in this case, I'm going to embrace it.
Good. I didn't want to push you, but I agree. Like you said, the alternative would mean giving up who I am, and I shouldn't have to do that. Baron's waiting for you outside, by the way. We're all in this together, 1K. One way or another.
Oh, so depending on what I would have said, either Al or Byron would have become the mayor. Is what I'm getting.
Hello, 1K. It's still strange when people call me that. You know, it's funny. Asking you to come along on the expedition was an impulse, but it was probably the most momentous decision I made. You changed everything. But the story's not over yet. We do. She gave everything she had for this city. And I don't think any of us really understood it. Not even me. We all tried to turn her into a prophet when she was just a human being. Athena's dreams. A recursive loop of hopes and fears. And my own foolishness. for thinking I had been abandoned, when I had been given a chance to grow up, to stand for my own ideas. Well, luckily this time we shouldn't have any trouble getting another expedition approved. I hear the mayor is a big fan of Athena and is very interested in her theory of everything. In fact, I think he's having a VTOL prepared as we speak. There's just one thing you have to take care of first. Speak to Melville and Yakut. They were part of the beginning, they can be part of the end, if they want to. I'll take care of the rest.
But wait, why not Al? Or is Al an auto-include? Well, okay, I guess Al is an auto-include.
You're going back, aren't you?
We are. We can't leave Athena trapped.
But you're not going to shut the machine down, are you?
No?
Then let me just say this, okay? I understand what you believe in, I really do. I've always respected your vision of the future, Byron. It's beautiful. It's moving. But just consider that maybe there is another way. A way that is more humble and maybe less exciting, but no less beautiful. Just consider that maybe that machine doesn't have any answers for us. None that really matter. We don't need a theory of everything to be happy.
It was never just about happiness, Hal. But thank you for your honesty.
I wish I could have partaken in that discussion instead of just standing here. I think it would have been easier to be on Al's side if he had a bit more...
Alright, I'll see you at the VTOL.
Because the thing is,
things are finally getting better.
Well, so many people who...
Attention all citizens. A scavenging expedition to the western ruins will set out next week. If you'd like to participate, please get in touch with Garrus.
Alright, can I... I'm just gonna not walk so I can talk. I think what would have made it more difficult of a choice between Byron and Al would have been if Al had a bit more concreteness or a plan on how to execute his goal. Because Byron was not more specific than Al, but with everything we discovered through the puzzles and all the places, it was quite clearly shown that Byron had a lot of now arguments he could make. We have the replication, the device from Northern 3 or Northern 2, from Northern 2 probably. We have the gravity beam, we have the tunneler, we have so many things that can be used so well if you go down the path of Byron. But Al was sadly in this expedition never able to produce an argument for we maybe don't need these quite yet, instead we could blah 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 blah. I think that could possibly have been dealt with in the terms of puzzles in a way that not all puzzles were super high-tech. Like, some puzzles were a lot more using the same kind of mechanics and materials we saw inside the simulation, showing that not everything needs to be the super advanced. Things can be good and the things can be just creatively used of what we already have. And once again, Al is not opposed to progression. But he is potentially opposed to this rapid progression, where we don't know exactly what we're giving ourselves up for. But that's just random talk from me.
1K! You're back on your feet. One of which I fixed, by the way. You're welcome. Of course I will. I think I might want this even more than you do. I want to explore. I want to build. I want to be more than this grumpy old mechanic going through the motions. I want to live. See you there.
That was not difficult. I don't think... I'm going to guess that if I hadn't been like nice or talked to them, it would have been a potentially different matter. I don't think I barely even need to talk to Yakut.
I'm really glad you made it, 1K. For a while, I really thought even Neith couldn't fix you. Yes, I thought about it a lot, but we need the theory of everything. We can't keep hiding from the future. We have to have a little faith, not in technology, but in people, in ourselves. All right, I'll get ready.
Yeah, he definitely sounded like it would not have been a guaranteed yes, depending on what I would have said. It's a nice little place. Let's... How much of it can I explore? It doesn't look like there's too many more buildings for me to explore. Nah, it's all walled off. And where's Cornelius? Is he still missing? Cornelius still appears to be missing. Already solved all of those puzzles, so there's no need for me to really go back into the museum. Unless Cornelius is roaming around, but I'm going to presume that Cornelius is still missing. Nice paint job. Bloodgit. Rose is also pretty good. Benaroya. So, time for Megastructure Part 5. And after that, the Golden Puzzles. We'll see if how many of the Golden Puzzles I have time for. Also, I've never seen Robot 666 since the very beginning. I wonder what would have happened if said yes. But that's for a different playthrough. Haven't come across Herman either.
I'm glad you're all here. I wish Al could come too, but he believes what he believes. Yakut, please take us up.
Aye, aye, Mr. Mayor, sir.
Don't do that.
Of course, Mr. Mayor, sir. I won't.
I'm switching to sleep mode.
I have only one thing to ask of you, my child. When at last you find yourself before Athena, be gentle to my old friend. The weight of the world was placed on her shoulders, and if she failed to carry it, it was because no one can carry such a burden alone.
Which is exactly the same argument I said about Herman, who tried to bring on every single problem and only use his own perspective.
Alright, 1K, you're in charge now. If you want to explore, make sure we didn't miss anything out there, go ahead. When you're ready, let us know, and we'll head into the megastructure.
Right, I guess we'll do the Golden Gates before the Megastructure 5 then. I wonder where we're gonna enter now, because that's blocked. It's closed. It wasn't always that way.
There seem to be more puzzles per cluster than necessary to gain access to the tower. I wonder what happens if you solve all of them.
I don't know, but I'm going to find out, Melville. Isn't that exciting? Also, now I guess another big question comes now. How do I... Is this like a final? If I solve all the golden gates? Maybe. But what I was going to say is... How thorough do I want to be now? Because I know there's a human relic, I know there probably is... Or there's probably a human relic in every single map, there's probably a Stratinov... Whatever it was, there's probably also a Prometheus... Spark or Flame or whatever it was called in every single world. Do I feel like I want to do all of them? That's one... No, all of these are from me and they don't say where they came from, which is quite annoying. Don't know how many there are either. Let's right. Guess I needed. Shouldn't have switched tabs. Let's go clockwise. So, Flooded Valley. I have both of the stars. Does annoy me that the human relics can't be seen. That I don't know how many there are. But maybe that's the point. That I should not be able to know how many human relics that there are. Or the Stratinov blah blah blah, I don't know how many of them there are either. And I don't know which one I've taken and which one I haven't taken. Because if I go to, yeah, so there's no, it doesn't really appear to be a way to check that. So let's just go to the Golden Gate. Let's see what it's all about. The thing is, since I'm starting at North too, there might be a lot that I'm supposed to know, but I don't know. Let's begin. What can I get in here? An accumulator. Perfect. Which I need. Which would kinda... Oh, that's interesting. So I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you. This is difficult. Because if I put it down now, it's going to cut off the... It's going to cut off the beam, but it's not going to actually give this anything. Yeah. And because it's such a long charge, it's supposed to be kind of anti-cheese. I guess my last question is then, am I supposed to be using the accumulator on the blue beam or the red beam, and it does appear that the red beam is a lot easier. Now I can do that, but is there a way for me to power this without having to cut everything? Which does not really appear to be the case. Now what that could potentially mean then is what I need is to grab the blue, which I can do. The problem is, if I'm going to... Because what I could do is like that. Remove you. Let it slowly charge. And then I can use the blue beam like that to let this be blue. The problem is, I'm not going to have a way out. Oh no, I am going to have a way out, so let's do that. Take accumulator, discharge. And put you there and there. Which will allow me to get you. And now the only difficult part is none. Because I can now do that. Which will allow me to do that. Oh yeah, I guess that is a bit of a difficult part because I'm screwed up. So I can do that. I can do that. And I can do that. Lovely. It does present an issue, because I need to redo this as being red. But that's going to... That's going to cut it. That's fine, because I don't need this one yet. So I can manually cut it with my body, which allows me to do that. That's the puzzle. A bit more difficult.
Hello, 1K.
Hello.
I've been watching you for some time.
Cornelius.
Sorry to be so mysterious, but I was unsure as to your intentions. There are people who would prefer Athena to stay where she is. I believe the puzzle you just solved is part of something hidden deep inside Athena's dream. Hidden even from herself. If you're willing to keep going, I think I know where this leads, and it could change everything for us.
I knew Cornelius would turn up sooner or later. If you can help him, 1K, please do.
So I guess what this is, we're unlocking her subconsciousness, potentially unlocking her subconsciousness, and that is maybe going to give us a good or better ending. I don't know if... I'm going to assume there's multiple endings, but... yeah. Loads of skipping. But it's fine now, I've seen everything. And this part did not have any additional statues that I needed to solve, so that's fine as well. I can soft 100% the game, because it's not going to be 100% because of this stupid flames and human relics and stratons. It's gonna be the end of me, those things. I know that I'm probably off stream going to do my second playthrough, and I'm going to literally scan the entire... either look up or scan every millimeter of the island to try to find everything. And not just the island, every island. Anyway, so what do I want? I want a box. That box is too far away. So I can't use you yet. And there's nothing here. So I need a box, and the box I can get by disabling that, which potentially requires a red beam from me, which I can get through an inverter. Come on, there we go. Look very more vibrant than usual. And using this, can take the converter just like that. Wonderful. And now the problem is... Okay, why do I need 2 boxes and why do I need a fan? I don't think I need the fan though. But now I kind of want to do that. Can a double box potentially mean I can... No, it's not really gonna work. Maybe it's just a safety backup. I need to recheck. Was there a way for me to power this on this side? There was not. So I need that. But this will just give me red. And I need blue. And I've now used all of the materials I have. However, I don't see the purpose of this currently, but none of these help. I don't technically need that, but I need a blue and a red. I can redirect the blue. Oh, wait a minute. How would I get the blue all the way over there? Because there's not a double inverter. There's no red source. Which is probably because of this that I need the double boxes. So if I could put something on top of double boxes, or maybe just one box is enough, it will allow me to have it be at such an elevation that the blue can be reached from in there because it's heightened over here. I'm going to test that theory. Do this. No, that's not even close to being enough. And what is the purpose of the fan? Is there a purpose to the fan? I haven't seen a fan. I'm gonna do this. Come on. It says jump, but I can't actually jump there. So this is definitely not it. What is it, then? Apart from a movie, what is it? Why do I have 2 boxes to play with? I mean, if I get an item on top of it, it is most surely high enough to reach a huge array of places. But how do I even get that elevation? This is where a fan could have been nice if there was, you know, a fan to actually lift me up. So the double box strategy could potentially be that. That's the fan. That's the fan. Okay. So now I know why I need the fan, and now so what I gotta figure out now is how to get the blue all the way there. Which is so much more tricky than it appears to be. Because from here... Okay, I think I know how to get the blue over there. The problem with my solution, though, is... it's gonna require that. Because my plan is, with this... Let me just temporarily put you there. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do so. Because that means I can now take this switcheroo and enable that. Which gets me to the next part. However, I am not there. I'm not there, and although I could use the converter to get myself there, I need to find a way. Because if I once again put that there, converter there, and I can get this to the other side, which is nice, apart from the fact that I still need to get to the other side. For me to walk to the other side, I will need the inverter. But that means I need something else to be on top of that. So this two beam setup to power that does not support that currently. I'm also realizing right now I'm an idiot. I don't need it to go through the wall, I can just get it to go through that. I'm gonna trade you in for a box. And just do that. So now I have you, and you're just a fan. That should be fine. Because what I can do is this. What I can say is, from in here, I can enable that, which might be a way for me to toggle which beam this one is given for. So like if I keep connections, keep that, do that. This is blue right now. Gonna move that back. So let me do that. Let me do this. Nice. So now that's blue. Right, so I did the opposite way. I need to change that. So that's too strong of a source signal. That's ultimately the problem. But I can fix that by having different holes. So if I do this very carefully, I get that. But it would be nice... Yeah, that's the problem now. I need... I think this is... No, this is not fine. So I kind of need these two to change places. But how do I do that? I think I know how to do that. Right, no, that wasn't how I do it. Keep connections. Could use a cube to give one higher elevation than the other, but that doesn't really solve my problem. because I need to have a toggle, and this is the only mechanic I have right now to create such a toggle. I need to find a way to deal with this. So maybe what I'm thinking wrong is that thinking that this is the key. So I'm gonna do this. Simple as that. Gonna hook these up like that. Yeah, but how am I gonna power that? Can do this. Because I don't know if this is intended, I'm just gonna give this a shot. This means I can do that, which doesn't accomplish anything. Is the hill supposed to be a way to solve this? No, it doesn't look that way. The last one did not stump me, but this one does. Which once again means that I'm making assumptions that I shouldn't be making, and all the assumptions... Getting into there is the easy part, but getting it to change after that is the difficult part. And surely this has to be the only way to do it. Another way to do it would be to, like, have things be on a box and I snatch the box, but that would not give... That would be so instant. No, wait, both of these need to be lit up at the same time. That's right, because I can't light that up or that one up when this one isn't. So that means this... Well, that turns things that changes things drastically. So one of the issue I actually have... No, I have a lot of issues currently. So I'm back on the drawing board for or back at least with the idea that maybe what I need is to double box something or start using boxes to let things overlap with each other. But the problem here is I need this to be turned on. Or do I? No, I don't need to, because I can from in here grab that. Alright. So this is what I'm gonna do. Keep connections, but I'm gonna do it like that. Keep connections. Shaboom. Take inverter. Alright. So it turns out, like I thought before, I'm just dumb.
It was a relief to be away from the politics of New Jerusalem. To be free to study and to create. To imagine a better future without all the exhausting nonsense of the city. Even reusing the technology from New Alexandria felt good. Like we were picking up a thread that should never have been abandoned. For the first time, we could be who we wanted to be. The best versions of ourselves.
So, what do I have here? I am just missing the golden puzzle here. Nice. Is there no way for me to hardcore parkour myself out? This is more locked off than I remember, but then again, it was a long time ago I was here. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know I wanted this, but now I know I want it. Now when I know it exists. Just water flowing in different configurations. It's so pleasant. At least to me. Just falling down a glass wall, flowing down freely, flowing down an incline like that. Oh, this was a puzzle. This wasn't the golden doors. And here suddenly got way more overgrown and abandoned compared to the other one. Right, let's put you there. We have a... Oh, this is a big puzzle. So I can do loads of things. Let's start with the connector. Most likely what I'm looking forward to doing is that. I'm gonna do this, this, that. I'm gonna hook. Kinda don't need to hook that one. This up, this wall. This is what I need. Come on. Which gives me a connector. And now I just need that, and with this one, so this one, I have access to, I don't even need this. I have access to blue and red. Blue and red turns green, but I want to keep the green, which is the problem. Yeah, so that looks like it's going to be the problem right now, and I have two color converters, which means that I can use the red and blue to get green, and then I can use green and another color to create green. Which is a problem, that's not what I want. I can't mix... Like, Please select all. Blue plus red. Now I have green. And I can generate blue with this. Which is not what I want. Oh, if random fluctuations is actually causing bit of a stir. And with this I have blue, which is not what I wore. Which I've already said now several times. I could, because I don't need anything else elevated. I do need the red elevated still. But if I feel blocked, do that, hook you up with red and blue and green. Bada bing, bada boom. But you can't reach that. But this is a good start. This is a fantastic start. Because now I have the color green. That doesn't help me. So why do I need two different... I love these puzzles. These gold puzzles are so good. But maybe I don't... I do need it. No, wait, I don't. Wait. Toto mate kudasai. Toto. I can use this to generate red. Like that, for that. Now I gotta do this in a non-interfering manner, currently. So how do I trigger this without interfering? I think that this is how I trigger it without interfering. And then it should be self-sufficient. And now I can use this one as an extender for the green.
Creating Miranda was an act of defiance in a way. To bring a new life into existence and say, this is good, this is fundamentally good, because human beings are unique and valuable, and every single one of them enriches the universe just by existing. We wanted to celebrate that, and to have a personal connection to the life we created. To be invested in each other the way it was in the beginning. To be parents.
But I do think with this, I'm going to leave the remaining 9 Golden Gate puzzles for the next stream. I'm just gonna travel there first because I think that's polite, but yeah, so far, really good. I love seeing that the story went places I didn't not expect it to fully go. And I do see now what it meant earlier with my actions against the other people having consequences. There probably is a line or like a combination of things I could have said and done that would have made Al be with us during this journey as well. Maybe it wouldn't have it wasn't about convincing him, but making him more accustomed to that idea that we're trying to do.
I see these beings, these children of a future age, wandering around an island more fantastical than Atlantis itself, looking desperately to find themselves. I reach out to them, but they cannot see me. I speak to them, but I do not know if they can hear me. Am I being punished? Are the gods playing some cruel trick on me? Why can I remember so little? What is this sorrowful voice I hear, whispering such terrible thoughts? I must use what remains of my mind. I must understand.
Yeah, the Stradigen is a character we still... Or I could just be dumb, but I don't know what the purpose is or what they are. All other characters have had explanations by now. But yeah, so with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your morning, day, evening, or whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you in the next stream. So until then, take care.